A lot of Halo YouTubers are wrong, okay? I'm gonna point it out there, alright?
If the rest of the TV show had been like this, you would see a radically different public perception about this show, let me tell you right now, because this, for the most part, again, caveat, felt like Halo in multiple regards.
And I could almost gaslight myself and say that this is a half-decent story.
Overall, Season 2 has been really good. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Action Bros. Gaming, media, reviews? I don't know. At this point, we'll figure it out later. I need to make this video. I've been putting it off for far too long, and it's time for me to make my Halo Season 2 review. I'm sure that if you've watched the live streams or anytime I've talked about the Halo show, you probably understand the direction that this is going to go. The Halo show Season 2 is absolutely fucking garbage. Probably need to bleep that because it's still the first minute of the video. Absolute garbage. It's terrible. Okay? I want to go ahead and throw out, the obligatory canon issue. All of that's thrown out the fucking window. All of the Halo canon is basically thrown out the window. There's nothing you can rely on in this show to be canonically accurate, except maybe images or, like the way things look. Maybe that could be close to canon, but that's about as far as it goes. Now, this show, in trying to be decanonized or not canon in a separate timeline, they're like, we get to tell our own story of what we think Halo really could be, and we're gonna make our own story, and you know what? It's boring. 'Cause we're boring! I struggled to finish the second half of this season. The whole Soren B plot is dull, uninteresting, uninspired. It's like a discount sci-fi Taken, but without any of the cool shit. And Soren basically does a complete 180 on his character with no reason whatsoever. Utter travesty. It's boring. The other thing is that essentially what this plot is going for is Halo 4, but done badly. And everybody already was pretty contentious with Halo 4 to begin with. It's going with the whole, what if the UNSC was bad and Chief going AWOL and, infighting in the UNSC, and it's like, we're still on planet Reach here, guys. We're still fighting the Covenant. Halo hasn't even started yet. Hasn't even begun, right? We just saw the Halo ring, I think maybe an episode or two before the show ended, all right? The show ends with Chief on the fucking ring. Halo just started. Yeah, River's watching me now. She's like, why?
Why is Dad getting upset?
It's because the show's garbage, Sweet Pea. Don't watch it. It's terrible. Absolutely horrible. Yes, it is. The only good character that's come out of this show, in my opinion, is going to be Ackerson. The character that they dropped for Season 2. He's the only character that has a reasonable arc that somewhat makes sense, even though a lot of his decisions make no sense whatsoever. It just doesn't have the spirit of Halo. It doesn't have that feeling. And no, the spirit of Halo isn't the energy sword or Master Chief or giving the Covenant back their bomb, iconic scenes or music. None of that is the spirit of Halo, okay? The spirit of Halo is going to be the world building, the way the world is set up. Events that transpire, yes, can be Halo-like. But you look at something like the Believe trailer, that is iconic Halo. You look at something like the Halo 2 Mjolnir mix with the guitar and all that dope shit. That is also Halo. Two very different vibes, I guess you could call them. Two very different vibes. But they still have that spirit of Halo, and that is the world that it's set in, right? The characters and the way they interact, how people view Chief, the things that Chief does, his archetype, right? All of that kind of dwells in the spirit of Halo. This show does not have that. It has cheap sci-fi BS, okay? It's got a bunch of infighting politics in its own show. Not to mention, it's dropped a few bit of actual real-life politics in there. Gotta have the current day stuff in there, which I think is lame. Please just let me go and just watch a show. I just want to step away from everything for a while. But no, we got to shove that in there too. So that's always fun. And the worst thing yet is that Halo YouTubers taking a look at the last episode are actually like, hey, there's parts of this that are actually good, when they're not. Okay? A couple of the channels that I see that I highly respect, and I think they're good channels and they put out good content, all of that's said and done, right? They're wrong about the last episode. A lot of people think that the last episode of Halo Season 2 is actually good. It's Chief on the ring. He's got all the things. He's got his energy sword. He's in his armor. He put his helmet on. You know, he's fighting elites. Doing no. Yes, but you have to think about the meta. You have to think about the meta of this situation. How did Chief get there? Right? How did he get his armor back and getting it on? Why hasn't he worn it for the entire fucking season? Right? All that they're showing you is they're showing you what they think you'll like. Oh yeah, you like it when he holds the sword and, you know, he's posing, right? And he's on the Halo ring. Like, this looks like Halo, right? It's like, yeah, that looks like Halo if you're looking at the lowest resolution of what Halo is. If you looked at maybe the Halo Combat Evolved cover, and you're like, oh, that's, you know, if we show, you know, if we do something like that, you know, Chief on the Halo ring with a weapon, maybe the fans will like that part, and then we can tell our own sci-fi story, you know, and continue it on. Exactly. It's frustrating when you see these little bits and pieces that they add in of the iconography and the imagery that is similar to Halo, but it's not. It is a shell. It's an empty shell of what Halo actually is. And I take offense to this, especially when Halo YouTube channels are promoting this. It's like, well, the thing that you're going to send the wrong message to these guys, all right? They're going to think, oh, as long as we dabble in, or as long as we put in these little bits of iconography, we put in these little bits and pieces that will make the Halo fans happy, then we can just make our own show. It's like, no, the Halo show has one fatal flaw. And it's quite simple. Every show, everything that has done this, that is copied from a video game, has a similar flaw. Well, almost every one. And that is, they don't copy the game. They try to do their own thing. When there's a reason, a very specific reason on why the game works, and that is, it works. It's frustrating, isn't it? Halo works as a story. If you copied it one-to-one and changed nothing, you would have a decent story. You have the blueprint. You just need to, you can copy the homework. Everyone thinks that's okay. Look at The Last of Us show. It did fairly well on HBO. And you know what? It changed a few things here and there. It kind of maybe added to some characters, or it dabbled a little bit here. Made a few character changes that I wasn't particularly happy about. But as a whole show, it was decent. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. All right? And you know what it did? It based itself off of the source material. Marvel has a similar issue. All the Marvel shows that are really good, you know, Avengers, Civil War, Infinity War, things like that, they're based off of the source material, based off of comic books, based off of stories that are tried and true, right? With their own little unique flair on them. This is not tried and true to the source material. The closest thing that they have to that is that is namesakes in like I said, iconography. The Halo rings, Planet Reach, the vehicles, the weapons, the armor, sometimes. All of that is really the only things that are similar to Halo in the names. Sometimes not even the names. You're going to send the writers the wrong message. It's not okay. It's not okay to do this. It's not okay to bastardize our IP and then give us a few tidbits of imagery to try and make us happy. A few breadcrumbs. It's like, no, I want the whole motherfucking sandwich, okay? When I was a kid, I always wanted a Halo show. I thought it would have been the next Star Wars if they did it right, but I always had to say that. It would be the next Star Wars if they did it right. And they didn't. And you know what? Nobody cares about this show. Nobody's watching it. I didn't even want to make a review on this. I didn't even want to sit through it. And I'm a Halo fan. I like to do reviews. I like to talk about shows. I didn't even want to sit through it. About episode 5, episode 6, I'm bored out of my fucking mind. I had to... That's why I haven't made a video up until this point. Is because there's nothing here. I can't even get passionate about making fun of this shit. I don't even want to do a full episode breakdown because who cares? It's not relevant anymore. It's forgotten about. No one cares about the Halo TV show now. And you know what? There's a reason for that. But you know what? Somebody made a real life battle rifle from Halo. And you know what? Got a fucking million views. You know why? Because that's interesting. That's exploding. And and it's just a video about them making a battle rifle in real life. One of the iconic weapons starting from Halo 2, right? That's more interesting, and that's probably going to last longer than the whole fucking multi-million-dollar show that you built with incompetent writing, lame scenes, and touches of iconography and imagery just to make some of the fans happy. And you know what? We shouldn't be happy. We shouldn't settle for something that could have been the next Star Wars if done right. It upsets me. And it upsets my daughter. Ain't that right? I don't know how much of her you can hear. The worst thing an IP can have is apathy. Me and Riley love to hate watch the sequel trilogy from Star Wars. We'll get hammered and we'll just binge those movies and just yell at our TV screen for hours, right? We'll have a blast. It's terrific. It's fun. We did that with Book of Boba Fett, you know, in the Kenobi show, although the Kenobi show honestly just made me sad. But the point is that it's one thing to hate watch a show and to yell at it. It's another thing to not even want to bother. Okay, the first season, I hate watched it. I was very upset with a lot of the stuff that they did. With this season, I had moments where I just didn't want to. I couldn't be bothered to finish the show. And that's worse. In my opinion, it's one thing to get mad at something and, you know, try and make content on it. But when your audience starts to become apathetic, it's a dead IP. I'll always have my games to play. Maybe somebody will make a machinima in the original video games, and then you can have your story in that, right? And you can have the Halo movies or show, but it's just a long machinima done in game. That'd be cool. I'd watch that. I'll put that on a DVD. Not even touch that show. It's sad, really, that they invested millions of dollars into a project like this and to see it wasted. It's absolutely abhorrent. And I'll say it. I hope it doesn't get a season 3. I hope we don't get another season of this terrible show. On the Halo ring or not, I don't want it. I don't want to know. I want this to be over, okay? I want to go back to playing my original Halo games, listening to the music, and enjoying that world. Not the silver timeline. At least she brings joy to my life. You and your mama. But anyway, I got a couple of other shows that I got to review. Still got to redraft my Boromir video, so that's in the works. But thank you all guys for watching. So do I recommend the Halo show, and what would I rate it? Probably rate it a good 2, just because it's disgraceful. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But yeah, would not recommend. And neither would she. So I'll catch y'all guys later. Bye. What could have been, right?